Hey everybody, it is Super J here, and I just want to say, first and foremost, Happy Resurrection Sunday, and in keeping with the love and with the true confessions, I am going to talk today about why I do not do Easter egg hunts or traditional church on Easter Sunday. Okay, so we want to say hi to the Millennials today, Super J and the Millennials. Keyshawn, of course, is at work again. Yay, I'm glad he's at work, but he's missing the confessions and also something that we do on Sunday evenings with Club His Hop, the service there. But you know what? I'm glad he has a job. Anyway, let's say hi to the Millennials, Jonathan and Kira.
Hey, how's it going, everybody?
All right. How are you guys doing today?
I guess I'm doing great, because for whatever reason, I'm killing the game, logically.
He's killing the logical game. You know, that's really funny, because with you actually, that's what makes you tick. That's what makes you go. That you are thinking and you're having logical stimulation in your mind, brain stimulation.
Oh, yeah. Somehow, for whatever reason, today must have just been the day for extreme logical conversation, because the irrationality that I've been hearing today, just left and right, I've been like putting people in check left and right. And I don't actually mean to, because I'm not trying to be like hostile towards anybody. Actually, I was just sitting here playing a video game. I was trying to mind my daggone business. But I heard some foolishness and I was like, I'm going to have to check that. I'm sorry, I can't let that one slide. Especially because it was somebody that I love very dearly. So I'm like, I can't let you slide on that one, Pippin. You love me. You know me enough. I can't let that come out your mouth. So logically, I had to check that.
My bathroom.
So this is brothers having conversations.
Yes.
And I think it resolved very well and very nicely. So awesome.
Oh yeah, it's not even, that's the other thing too. When I say that I'm checking people, it's not like this is like extreme argument or anything. 9 times out of 10, it's just a conversation. Once they understand me, which I don't know anybody that's not going to understand me when I speak. Once you understand me, you can understand my position, and 9 times out of 10, even if you may not like it, you have to respect it, because I'm making sense. Yeah. Plain and simple. I don't care if you like what I got to say, but I'm making sense, and you got to respect it.
That brings up something I'm going to bring up in a minute. So, Yakira, what's up with you today? How's your mentality? And
my mentality's fine, but apparently I'm the exact opposite of John, because no one seems to understand me, like, ever.
I don't know that that's true. I don't think so.
I find it really difficult to get my point across.
This is the thing I have to tell you, Carol. But Kira, I love her to death, but she has a tendency, because she's so smart, to kind of be too fast. You know, she's too fast. She's ready to tick.
Always pop off.
And my thing that I was telling her, I'm like, the reason I can deal with her and have a conversation with her is because I had to learn the same lesson that she did. I just learned it faster. I had to learn to shut up.
They're talking about probably when they engage me sometimes.
No, actually, anything. It was literally anything. I was telling her more or less, actually talking about Keyshawn. I'm like, the reason you are the way you are and the way he is the way he is now is because he's in the conditioning mode. Now, because he's conditioned, it's hard to break a condition. And the thing is, when there's a conversation, you're very quick to say something, and then he doesn't know what to say back. Or if it's somebody else, per se, you're very quick to say something, they say something back. All you're doing is talking to respond to each other. Nobody's actually talking to listen to each other. And that's the problem that I've been having with a lot of other millennials or kids that are here. They talk to respond. And they only listen to what they need to hear so that they can challenge you back. They don't actually listen to understand truly where you're coming from and what you're saying and the reasoning behind it. They don't understand your experiences or your life. What I'm trying to do when I listen to you is I'm trying to understand you so that when I open my mouth, what's coming out is something that you're going to understand. I'm not going to come at you sideways because what I'm saying to you makes sense. I'm coming to you like you would come to you. And that's sometimes what her issue is sometimes, is that when she's coming out, she's recognizing what's going on, she's recognizing the environment, but it's an extreme defense mechanism. And she's coming out swinging. Because that's what she's comfortable with right now. And that's the lessons that she understands right now for her. She doesn't understand necessarily, wait a minute, what happened previous to this? You know, that was the question that needed to be asked. What happened previous to this that I might understand the previous situation that I'm in currently, and I can address that situation likewise. It's not like that. And I understand it because, like I said, I was the same exact way. Sometimes you just coming at me, sorry, I'm going to come back at you. Like, I don't understand why you coming at me right now. But I had to learn very quickly, most of the time with mommy, but I've had to learn with other people especially because other people really don't understand where I'm coming from a lot of the time. More than she. She understands where I'm coming from more of the time, so there's not really very much tension there. It's usually other people. And so that's why I was telling you, Kira, I'm like, you got to learn with anybody how to listen to understand versus listening to respond. Because if you're just listening to respond, you're always going to be 2 steps behind the person. If I'm listening to understand you, I'm 5 steps ahead because all that time you were talking and doing all this other stuff, by the time you got a breath, I'm about to kill you with one sentence.
Yeah, maybe, or agree with you with one sentence.
And my thing the way it came up, though, is just like, earlier this morning, you know, Mom and I kind of got into a disagreement, and
clash of the Titans.
My thing,
and I'm the Kraken.
And the word, what she, said was that I was basically being bipolar because I changed something really quickly. Not something I'm very good at. But the thing is, yeah, and yes, you did. That's why I'm real quick to defend myself because bipolar is not a good thing. So once you said bipolar, I was attacked. So now I'm defending myself, which is why you get so much defense because you.
So let me
finish my story. But anyway, she said I was being bipolar towards Keyshawn, and my thing was my actions might be different, but I'm still saying the exact same thing that I've said since he's gotten here, and that was worry about yourself. Every single time he did something, I said worry about yourself. So I didn't really understand how I was being bipolar when I said the same thing.
Yay!
So
make sure you come down, Keyshawn.
So it was confusing to me, and then John was like, well, you might be telling him to worry about himself, but first of all, he's not going to listen to that because he doesn't know how to worry about himself. And I'm like, what? So he was like, yeah, y'all just both need to work on listening. You have listening issues, and that's what y'all need to work on. And I was like, well, I guess that's the case, and I need to stop talking so quick and just listen.
So let me say something that I think Yakira misses sometimes. So we did have a conversation. What I was saying is your behavior. What I mean by, I didn't say you, mental, or bipolar.
No, I know that's what you're
saying. I'm saying that if you're doing one thing one way and it's concentrated and this is all you've given to somebody, and now, because you've decided, okay, well, I didn't like how Mom really was responding to me acting this way, well, now I'm going to come over here and expect you to immediately, well, now you got to respond because I'm doing this now. That's what I mean by, I'm like, no, not anybody. Not Keyshawn, not me, not Jonathan, not Skylar. Nobody would be able to immediately make that kind of an adjustment, especially when it's all coming from out of your head. It's coming from your headspace, with not the consideration of anybody else and how they're even interpreting, internalizing, or able to respond. So that's what I was talking about when I said that.
No, yeah, I knew she wasn't calling me bipolar.
But let me tell you something else. Let me tell you something else. In your defense, Yakira is at a place in her life because Yakira has been bullied and pushed around for most of her life, all right? So what has happened is she has built up defense mechanisms and walls, and she is I'd say 98% in defense mode all the time. So as soon as anybody says anything, before we can even, and this is how the disagreement happened, before we can even get out the thought, she's automatically assumed that someone has attacked her, and now all she's doing is coming out defending herself. When the whole thing, none of it was even about her. And so she reels into this defensiveness, which actually makes me very angry and frustrated. Because I know for a fact, like Jonathan says, you are not listening to anything. All you're doing is defending yourself. Now, I understand why she does that. I absolutely understand. She doesn't know that I understand. I've been trying to help her to hear, just from me saying it, I do understand. But there is a cycle also. There's an if-then. If you do A, mommy responds like B. And it's all the time, because I'm not going to change what I'm doing in this particular respect. And so my lesson in it is, if you really want a different outcome, and this is for any and everybody, you have to do something different. You cannot do the same thing over and over and expect a different outcome, because that equals what? Insanity.
Einstein.
Insanity. And not one person sitting in here on this couch is insane. But because she's in defense mode all the time, 98% is a lot. That's an A++, y'all. That's a lot of the time. It's very hard to catch her when she's kind of down and her walls are down, and to try to talk to her. So very quickly, something can escalate with Yakira. And it very quickly escalates because she immediately jumps on the defense. And so that's what was going on in the conversation we were having today. And actually, this is what wasn't what we were supposed to be talking about. But since it's come up, hey, again, this is True Confessions. Last week, this too is our life. So this actually may help people, anyone, family. There's dynamics that happen within your family oftentimes, that there's a pattern or a cycle that nobody really is comfortable with. So how do you break a cycle of dependency, codependency, and even behavioral things where nobody's really comfortable with that cycle? How does it break? Who breaks it? Who's responsible to do that? And is it even possible? I say yes, it is possible. What I've been trying to say to Yakira very forcefully, in other words, I have created, I am a cinder block. Boom, I am the wall. I am a wall right now with a certain tolerance. And I am a wall against her defensiveness. Now, imagine that. Understand what I just said. So, Yakira is defensive. All right? And now I'm a wall. So, Yakira is throwing herself out, trying to get a certain reception, but she's hitting what? She's hitting the wall. All right? Because I have decided, I've chosen, I've made a conscious decision to be a wall here, because I'm trying to get her to understand that she does not have to do this. But by her doing it, she's going to get this response. So it's almost like I'm trying to condition her and train her, retrain her. Not necessarily like a Pavlov dog, but to an extent, every time you come this way, boom, you're going to hit her. And guess what? Just because you got stronger and you put more energy and more force in it, the wall is fortified. It's not going to budge. It's not moving. And out of the two of us, the only one that's going to get hurt by hitting this wall is going to be her. And when I say hurt, it can be physical, it can be emotional. The goal, though, is not to create pain. The goal is to help recognize there's a wall here. Why am I hitting this wall? Why do I insist on hitting this wall when the truth of the matter is, Jonathan's right there. Jonathan's not a wall. Jonathan is actually a gate. So why am I, boom, hitting this wall instead of you, Jonathan, open it, walking through the gate? I'm trying to show that there are different choices, but not right here with that, because that is the specific behavior that I am painfully trying to target, because it will make her a better person. Everybody is not attacking her. And that's the thing. And I get it when you're so used to the majority of the people that you engage, when you're used to that being an attack, you're coming out with your shield up. But Yakira comes out with shield and weapon drawn. And that's the problem. Put the shield up, see if anybody's got a dart. You know? I mean, am I making any sense at all?
Yeah, you're making sense, but the fact that I'm defending myself means I was already hurt.
But we understand that.
So
we understand that. No. I'm not. That's what I'm trying to say. I get that. And in your defense, I'm saying I understand why you even have the defensive posture that you have.
I'm talking about at every occasion. There was something said that made me defend.
Your filter. It's your filter. All right. So here's the thing. It's
High chance, by the way.
It's your filter, and it's the way that I will respond to certain behavior. But the problem is, in the cycle, you haven't learned how to just put the shield up and look and listen. Be like the 300. If we got to lock it in, see what's going on. Ain't nothing getting through there. Nothing's going to hurt you. Nothing's going to get in there anymore. But, hey, is this a peaceful engagement potentially, where I can actually let my guard down and relax and actually have a comfortable and comforting interaction? This is a principle, and it goes for anybody and any family, any of that stuff, okay? So what we're saying is, we're putting ourselves out here, and I don't have a problem with that. I am the furthest from perfect, okay? I recognize that. But at the same time, dude, I'm going into my 50th chamber. Actually, in 30 days, less than that, 29 days maybe. I'm in my 50th chamber. So I'm pretty much established. I am that I am. Yakira is at this wonderful age of development where she can actually be whatever she wants. She can be whoever she chooses to be. I'm saying don't allow your past to dictate to you and put you in a prison or in a box. And I'm happening to be the one to take the brunt, to appear that I'm hurting her feelings, to sometimes for her it appears that I'm not on her side, but I am trying to show and illustrate a painful lesson that actually doesn't have to be painful, but it's going to be painful for her for a while. Now, at the same time, it's just as internally painful for me to watch my child be in this kind of a condition. And I know I get on Jonathan's damn nerves, because Jonathan be like, because I get loud, you guys. We're all very passionate, but Yakira will quickly get defensive and escalate, and then I'm going to get loud, okay? And I'm going to get more passionate, all right? And Jonathan is just like, will both of y'all shut up?
Yeah, because my interaction with Jonathan is 100%.
Well, because he's very low-key. But he's not giving you the same, he's not trying to teach you the lesson. He's teaching you something different. And the problem is, I'm trying to keep you, you're not defensive against Jonathan. So you're not going to learn the lesson with Jonathan. You are, I'm making you defensive. I'm showing you that you're defensive. Okay? In other words, I'm not doing anything, technically, to provoke it, but anything that is said that sounds a certain way, you automatically put your guns up, your weapon is drawn, and your shield is up, and you start firing. And what I'm doing, because you do that, every time I'm going to be a wall. And I'm saying this is not the necessary action, the expedient, because all things are lawful. All things are lawful, but all things are not expedient. In other words, you can do whatever the heck you want to do, but you might not get the outcome that you're expecting. And because I'm mom and I'm in my 50th chamber, I have made a decision. Is this a comfortable decision? No. I don't like having her feel that we are in an oppositional position, that we are at opposition with each other or at odds with each other. And the truth of the matter is, she really doesn't understand how much for her I am.
I understand that you're for me, because if you weren't for me, I wouldn't be here.
I'm so for you. No, I'm so for you that I am making you very uncomfortable with me, because I represent everything else out there, and I can take it. All right? And I'm also only going to char you so much. Okay? I'm not trying to kill you. All right? You come at some people out there like you're coming at me, they're going to try to kill you. Like, for real. Like, hurt you. Indefinitely. I'm trying to help you, not hurt you. And so that's really what's going on. And I don't know. When you see, yeah, you do go with Jonathan differently, but you're not in defense mode.
I would say the reason it's not necessarily defensive because I'm the next step. I am trying to teach you what you do instead of.
That's what I mean by I'm the wall and he's the gate.
And that's just because
she's been the wall my entire life.
I have had the problem.
Well, that's what she has to be, because it's not just you. It was with me too. I just learned, like I said, I learned it faster.
Yeah, but you're also fine with people yelling. John, you're in the military.
Well, no, that's
so.
the reason I was good with the military is because I was okay with her yelling. But I had to learn to listen first. Like I said, I was here first.
But
I
he's
had
also
to learn
pathos. I'm ethos.
Not necessarily.
For the most part. You're both, but I'm
That's what I'm
mostly
saying, but that's the same thing I had to tell you earlier, is that
now,
I had to live a different
people who don't understand pathos and ethos, can y'all explain what that means?
I'm emotional, he's logical.
Yeah.
So, and he takes the logical side more than he takes the emotional side.
Very much.
So it's
the
just
funny
like,
part is, she never saw me when I was a kid.
Jonathan
I was very emotional.
And he was such a sweetie.
Why did I become a pacifist? Because it hurt me that I hurt somebody else. I was very emotional. I had to learn how to jump out of my emotion to understand, to listen. Because sometimes your emotion ain't about to listen to what the other person is saying or feeling. I had to jump out of that. And my jumping out of it was because of mommy. Like I also told you, I had to grow up with a different mommy.
What's that mean?
I grew up with a different mommy. Sometimes certain things had to be done just because they needed to be done and you don't question it. There wasn't about to be no conversation or none of that. You just do what the heck I told you to do because you don't see what is coming. You just do it. Stop asking the question and do it. Listen to me so that I can protect you. Plain and simple. Stop fighting me all the time. That was my phrase when I was a kid. Stop fighting me all the daggone time. Okay. Learn how to listen. Once I understood it, oh shoot, you know what? I saw that coming too. I'm gonna go over here. I don't want to be over there. Why would I? I'm not about to sit there and argue about it. If I disagreed with the initial phrase that came out to pull me away from that, I'll talk about it after I get out of the situation.
Get out the way. You know, I'm gonna say something, and you're right, Jonathan. He did have a different mommy to that extent. But here's what's interesting. My heart is really, really, really big for my kids. Of course, most moms are. But I remember Jonathan, he couldn't have been more than 3 years old, maybe 4. And when he said, stop fighting me all the time, when he was younger, what he said to me one day was, Mommy, stop screaming at me. He's so sad. Mommy, stop screaming at me. And he was little. Now, what that did for me is it flipped up a mirror, and I was like, wow, maybe I'm too hard on him. Maybe I'm pushing too much. But guess what it did for Yakira coming 6 years later? She got the different mommy. The mommy that's going to let her express herself, let her ask the question, and let her challenge, and then I'm ready to choke the living daylight out of her, because what has happened is it swung the whole other way to where she doesn't listen because she's really smart and she thinks she already has the answer. So now when I say something, instead of her, just get out the way. I don't care that you don't like how I told you to get the heck out the way. Just move. That's not Yakira now. Jonathan's going to move. Mommy, I ain't like the way you said that. That hurt my feelings. Okay. Yakira's like, you're attacking me, and why, she's going to go right there. By this time is over, we both got hit by the train. we done both got hit by the train. And so I have to kind of go back to where I was with Jonathan. Now the problem with that is you don't create a freaking monster.
Because now the challenge is
it's 17 years of being this other softer, gentler mommy.
So making her gentle to me is still harsh.
No, it's not gentle.
It's not gentle.
It's not gentle.
That's
Yeah.
what's
No,
funny
I'm talking about my
swinging.
entire life. I don't remember any gentle.
Oh,
I don't remember
it was gentle.
anytime. Hold on. What I remember, it might have been softer than what John experienced, but what I experienced was still harsh. Anytime my question is, why did you just listen to me? Yeah, and she tells me the same story. She's been telling me this since I was 5. I've been hearing the same thing over and over. So it's just like, I thought we just said insanity is saying the same thing and expecting a different outcome.
No, we are. I don't know what story you're talking about. About the why won't you just listen?
Yeah, because he used to do that to me all the time. You used to say it to me all the time.
Because it's a lesson you're supposed to learn.
You're supposed to have learned that one.
And I thought I did learn it, but apparently I haven't. I don't know what the train is anymore.
So what happens
Things
is
have changed.
it's once again, you learned at a very young age that you had the freedom to say something, and you had this voice, and you had like I said, for me, there was no, I'm going to talk about it right now, when the train's still coming, we going to sit here and talk about it. No, you just going to get the heck up of the way. I'm going to snatch you up out the way. And then we going to talk about it.
Right.
If your feelings still hurt, well, we just going to have to work that through a little bit later. How about that? For you, it was more of, well, let's talk about it. Well, as soon as we start opening up the discussion to talk about it, it's this immediate abrasion. And both y'all are very abrasive in language. You're very aggressive and passionate in language. Me, the reason I can always buffer between y'all two is because I'm naturally calm all the time. All the time. That's why you can listen to me. That's why I can listen to her. It's easy for me because I don't see everything in like an attack until it's in an attack.
Right.
I might see the attack coming, but I need to see all the avenues of approach first before I decide to actually strike back. I can't just strike and not see, oh snap, you got me here, but there's this dude with an arrow behind me. I can't do that. That's not how I operate. I'm going to have to strategize. So that whole time you're talking, I'm for sure understanding, I'm all listening, but I'm then also creating my own strategy to break down everything that you said or agree with everything that you said and then tell you how I'm coming from it with how I'm feeling. That's all it is. Sometimes you might be saying the same thing. I'm putting it into a perspective that you're going to understand because my perspective of it was at a different level. But I know your level, so I'm just going to come right down there and be like, okay, this is where you need to be. I need you to understand me like this. I need you to work your way up here to me. Because right here, I'm up here. You still a little bit down here, and I want you to be up here with me because I like sharing that. I need you to be up here.
Yeah, but you see how logical John is? So if you have a logical person and an emotional person, the emotional person is forced to see logic.
Yeah.
The emotional person is forced to see logic.
Now, I'm a strong combination of both.
Yeah, but she tends to come at me with emotion.
No, actually, I'm not coming at her
She
with
comes
emotion.
at you
Or
actually
she
with
just
both.
comes
I'm
at
coming
me,
with
or
both.
she'll just come at me just with the wrong words.
I will say that.
You don't
the
come at
problem
me.
is with mommy is she is both.
I'm a problem.
But what happens is she comes with both, but she's also so loud that the immediate tone is abrasive. That's what the problem is with Yakira. With me, there is no tone.
But you know what? My tone doesn't escalate until she has defended herself.
No, you're naturally loud. No, she's
naturally loud.
You are naturally loud.
But the naturally loud where we're talking about conflict.
I'm not talking about conflict, but
Yeah,
I'm
it's
saying
different.
sometimes when you ask certain questions, you're like, nah, you didn't yell at. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
There are times where the tone is loud, and I'm walking into it like, okay, there's a problem here, but I don't know what the problem is just yet. Let me keep listening so I can figure out really what's going on. That's me, though. I'm going to walk in and be like, something's up. I can see some frustration. I don't know where it's coming from, so I'm going to just let this keep going until I figure it out. Once I figure it out, okay, then I'm going to say what I need to say.
And that's true. When I get frustrated, I get louder. And so a lot of times, what Yakira is responding to, and this is what happened today, it wasn't even about her at all. I was frustrated about a situation, and I'm trying to say something, And she immediately started talking about, well, how this isn't her fault, or this isn't her thing, or she didn't do this. And I'm like, okay, I got that piece of information. Now that I have this, but this is what's happening. So since this is what's actually going on, this is what I'm going to need you to do to fix this. And somewhere in between there, because she kept interjecting, instead of me helping her to understand why I'm saying what I'm saying, she's now steadily just defending herself. But I didn't do it. And I'm like, just shut up.
But that's the part that I was telling her.
For a minute.
At that moment, that's the part that I was explaining to her. I'm like, that's where the generation that I keep talking about, and I'm a part of it, is that they respond just off of response to challenge. They don't actually listen to what's going on in both sides of the story. I'm listening to myself and the other person at the same time. I want to understand that person more than I even understand myself, because I'm cool with myself. My stuff is just going to flow. It's going to
I want to know what's going on with you.
Exactly. I need to really understand what's going on in your world and your planet, so that I can come at you at a way that you're going to accept what I'm saying back to you.
Even if you don't agree with it.
But the thing is, though, she's frustrated about something, but not at me, but you're projecting that frustration on me.
No, but the thing was, it wasn't being projected at you. You came in defensive and swinging. So now it's shifted to you. And that's what I'm trying to get you to see, that if you walk, Jonathan is 100% correct. He hears the frustration in the air. He hears my tone. Uh-oh, something's going on with mommy. I'm not quite sure exactly what it is yet. So he's going to listen. He doesn't want to hear me fussing. He's mommy, you're being loud. But he's going to let me be venting and ranting until he figures out what it is. Because once, like he said, once he knows what it is, oh, this ain't about me. Okay, mommy, calm down. Let me help you help yourself right now. Now that he knows that it's not about him. You never get to a place where you can hear that it's not about you. You immediately determine that mommy has this tone, and it's going to be about me. Because she mentioned my name.
Exactly.
Because
it's not you.
But it's not you.
But then don't use my name.
No, I'm talking to you, but not about you.
Okay.
That's the difference.
The thing that I'm saying, and I really can't remember the entire situation because I had just woken up, didn't even know what was going on.
Which is why you should have been, no, you weren't getting yelled at.
Mom, to me this is you yelling at me though, that's the thing. Just the fact that you're loud. To me,
she doesn't like people, anger. That's what I'm saying. She don't like people being loud.
Because you don't need to,
but you're
no
loud.
need for it.
But that's what I'm saying. Both of y'all loud. That's
yeah,
what's funny
now
about
I'm trying to top her. The thing is,
there it is. Did y'all hear that?
My thing is, hold on.
It's a competition.
See right here. I'm not allowed to talk.
No, you are, but it's a competition.
But my point
I'm going to be right here. I'm the wall. You're not going to win.
My point is, if you were never loud, it wouldn't have escalated.
But see, you can't. Here's the problem with that.
You can't control.
Thank you.
I know you can't control somebody else.
But
that's the same with you.
I'm not trying to control you.
But you want me to change.
No. I'm not trying to control you. I'm trying to help you to understand that there's a choice here. And the choice probably is not to try to go through mommy. That's the choice that's not going to work.
I've been talking to you about choices for how long now?
Exactly. And I'm here. You know where I am. What it is you won't accept it. You really believe you have the gumption and the wherewithal and the power to bust through that mommy wall.
No, I think that I have the power to not have to hear all this yelling for no reason.
Well, here's the thing. If it's not about you, then it doesn't matter that I'm yelling.
Mom, all I heard was, Yakira, you're acting bipolar.
That was an attack.
That was way.
That was way.
I know point. No, but at
yes,
that point, to me, it was already escalated. At that point,
but
it was
if that's the first thing you heard, you didn't hear anything.
And
that's what I'm trying to say.
In the middle of the conversation.
You didn't hear anything that had been said before.
I heard, where are my clothes? Here are the clothes. Who put them there? Keyshawn.
Well, no. That's not how that conversation went.
It's not how it went. That's basically
He was like, hey, did you put my clothes in here? I was like, no. I said, no, actually, I think it was probably Keyshawn because he was the only one that went in there to do his laundry. I didn't know if Yakira went in to do her laundry or not.
And so
she
what I
saw your laundry. So
right.
I didn't even know your laundry was in there.
Right. And so what I concluded, I was trying to express to you the conclusion that I had drawn about what was going on in the laundry room. So everybody, this whole conversation started with the laundry room because I had some clothes that were in the dryer yesterday, and I asked someone to take my clothes out of the dryer, whoever was doing clothes next, because I was going out, right? Now, I also asked everybody, because we got four grown folks, but 3 people in the house who are doing laundry, all right? We have a laundry room. Laundry has different little, everybody got their little pallet, their basket or whatever. My request is, all right, everybody finish all your laundry this weekend. Monday morning, I want the laundry done, period. Everybody's laundry. My laundry, all laundry. And I'm like, if my clothes are in the dryer, whoever does the next load, just take mine out, put them in my room. All right? So that's kind of what was going on. But the point was, I was looking for my clothes because I opened the dryer and my clothes aren't in the dryer. So I'm looking for my clothes. I'm like, where are my clothes at? Now, the clothes that I did see were in the dryer were Yakira's clothes. That's how Yakira got it. I'm like, oh, did you take my clothes out of the dryer?
And I continuously said I didn't do the laundry.
Exactly. You said you said you didn't do your laundry, but you washed your clothes. So you had to wash them. And then when Jonathan said what he said, I'm like, oh, okay, I know what is going on. But the problem was Keyshawn was trying to finish his stuff. He would have had to put his in the dryer, but he couldn't because her clothes were in the dryer. And I'm confident that Keyshawn did not want to mess with Yakira's clothes.
No, he put my clothes. I didn't take my clothes out of the dryer. My clothes were left in the washer. So he took my clothes out of the dryer and put them in the washer.
So that he could do what I asked him to do, which was wash his laundry. But he wasn't going to touch it. He already moved them once. All right? Exactly. He moved your stuff once, and that's a risk.
I really don't know why.
Because it's your stuff. And it's already been made clear that you don't want him to bother your stuff.
You don't like people touching nothing.
Right. And so he's in a you put him in a very interesting position. And this is where I was saying the behavior is bipolar, because now you're saying, well, I wouldn't have cared about that. Well, guess what? If anything I do, you jump on me, I don't want to do anything. I'm in a position where I don't want to do anything. And so what you did was he put them in there and left them because he figured, well, she's going to come get her clothes out the dryer. So he did a favor by taking them out the washer, putting them in the dryer, but he was not touching your stuff no more, period. That's where it was ending for him. But what it caused to happen is that you caused his clothes to stay in the washer all night. So what I smelled was something mildy in the washroom, and it was bothering me, okay? And that's where the frustration started to come in my tone. I couldn't find my clothes, and I'm smelling something weird in the washroom, and Yakira's clothes are in the dryer.
Frustration.
So, yeah, and so all of that, now in any of that, there's none of that was really about Yakira, okay? I'm asking questions, and I'm trying to hear the information. So once I got information, I made a conclusion. So I'm trying to tell you, Yakira, you need to get your clothes out of the dryer. And I said, and I'm not sure if that's yours that I'm smelling. You might actually need to wash yours again. Guess what you're doing this whole time? It's fine, Mom. My clothes are fine. My clothes smell fine. That's you. Yeah, while I'm trying to find out what's still, and I'm like, listen, I'm trying to tell you what to do. And you're just totally off.
Found out the conclusion. We already got it.
We had already got it, and I'm trying to help you understand what the next move is. But now you're coming at me with all of this defensive, crazy stuff, and so now I'm getting pissed off because she is not listening to a damn thing I'm saying. And I'm like, you know what? This is my house, and something smells funny in it. I don't like that. Fix it. So now I'm there, right? But
which is the mommy I know.
Right. So now I'm there. It's like, don't even just do what the heck I'm saying now. And so, Yakira, I'm here. Hey, she's become a wall now. Maybe I need to just back up, just do what she asked me to do, and don't say nothing.
Can I say something real quick?
Not yet. But instead, you're steadily coming and trying to defend yourself. So what did I do? I said, Yakira, stop defending yourself. And my whole retort then toward you was about you defending yourself. And yes, I'm yelling at you now about it because now that cycle has kicked in and I'm like, you don't hear what we're saying. None of this was ever about you. Now it is all about you, and it's all about you defending yourself. So what I really need you to do is just shut up and stop talking. That's what we need you to do now. Jonathan's sitting there like, will she shut up? I know that's what he's thinking. Yakira, just shut it down. And I'm saying to you, when are you going to figure out that it's time for you to stop talking? So now that's what our conversation is now. Yakira, when are you going to figure out you need to stop talking now? Stop talking. And now you're feeling your rights are violated. Who the freak had rights like that with their parents? I didn't have them rights.
I'm not feeling that.
You're feeling that you're not being listened to. You're feeling like you're being attacked, and really you're not. I'm telling you to be quiet because I'm here now. It's not going to go anywhere better because you don't even know what I'm talking about still. And the way I know you don't know what I'm talking about is you're still defending yourself. And I'm like, Yakira, stop. And most of what I was saying this morning to you was, stop. Most of it.
The thing is, she's trying to tell me a story instead of just telling me what needed to be done.
But that's my prerogative.
But you don't need to tell me the story.
Oh, but I do need to tell you the story.
But I already know the story. So
No,
what
you
she was
didn't know
telling
the
me,
story.
yeah, I've seen it the whole time. But she was basically saying, hold on. She was saying that because this whole thing happened, because Keyshawn is tippy-toeing around me.
Poor thing.
And so that was my problem. And so because I'm saying,
Because you're like, well, I don't care about him. But
hold on.
He's tippy-toeing because
No.
you conditioned him to.
But I've been telling him the same thing.
You can't.
And that was worry about yourself.
It
I've said that
doesn't
since
matter.
he's got here. Since we were still together.
This is what I told you. I've been in plenty of relationships. I'm not about to sit there and listen to what you're saying if your actions are speaking louder than what you're saying.
Thank you.
But my
If you
actions
tell
never
me to
said
worry about
about
myself,
me.
and then when I worry about myself, you flip off. Now, should I be worried about myself? Or should I be worried about how you feel? Because I was worried about myself, and you snapped.
And the other thing is, on a larger scale to that, you pop off at him not worrying about yourself. Anything he was posting, you're saying negative stuff to him. Mind your daggone business.
That's why I unfriended him, because I think it's stupid.
But see, there's your attitude. But there it is. This is the actions that are speaking louder than your words.
Yeah, which is why I unfriended him.
No. You're saying worry about yourself,
He did.
but you're the one jumping on his page.
Yeah, and I
But so why does he have to do something and you don't?
which is why I unfriended him, because
But you
I
did
don't.
that after you
Hold
listened.
on, listen. I felt the stuff he was saying was stupid, and I felt that way for a long time.
But
It got to
it's
the
not
point-
about you, though.
I know that, and it got to the point where I was like, you know what? I want to say something, and then I realized me saying something was out of line, but I'm gonna keep seeing stupid shit.
But you
So I unfriended
here's the
She
thing.
already
Here's
did
the
it
thing.
so many
I know,
times.
but at that point, and I realized, all right, I've already done
So the
this.
circumstance, the situation has been created by you. This is what we're trying to tell you. You have created a situation and everybody is trying to jump through your hoops. And you say, well, I'm saying worry about yourself. No, because while I'm worried about myself, you still blasting me on my page. I'm not having anything to do with you. So what if you think it's stupid? You should have unfriended me without saying anything to me. I have nothing to do with you. This is where you're missing it. You are the one who is the catalyst that keeps throwing darts. That's causing people to have to feel like they got a tippy toe around you. You're not telling them to worry about themselves because you too busy being worried about them.
Well, at this point, it
At
should
this
be done.
point, no, because you just did that last week.
I know.
So, you just did that last week where you unfriended him on Facebook.
Yeah.
But all the stuff that led up to that where you're blasting him on his own page. But you're telling him to worry about himself. So you don't see your role in this.
I'm talking about in the house.
No, but it's all the same.
Hold on, but I'm also
it's all
saying,
the same.
all right, that happened last week. It's all said and done.
It's not all said and done.
That was not what has
Because
happened.
it's not
this
human
week.
behavior. It's not what
That's
happens
the
today.
bipolar in
That's
it. That's
what
what
we've
I'm
been
saying.
doing my
No.
entire life.
No, we have not.
Well,
We're
that's
just
how
on
I
different
perceive
pages. That's
it.
what I'm saying. We're on different pages. That's why you perceive it that way.
No. What you're doing is actually very unfair. And I didn't want to even go there. But what you've been doing is unfair because you have a standard and a stipulation and an expectation that everybody has to meet except you. That sounds like a hypocrite. Now, that was an inflammatory word, y'all. Okay? I just attacked her. Didn't I?
No, not really.
I didn't, but didn't I?
No.
Normally,
I'm
yes,
still saying
but that's
no.
exactly how it is. If I said you're being a hypocrite, now she's going to defend herself of why she's not. She can't do that here, but I'm speaking the truth. And I choose a word to paint the picture.
But did y'all see how she came at it with, though?
It doesn't matter because, listen to
does
how long
matter.
it took me to get there. Because you're still talking, we're trying to get you to see so many different things, and you're trying to show how you're not taking responsibility for it. But it's this, it's that. No. You created this. We can't walk in here when you've created this. We got to deal with this. And you're saying, well, I didn't need that story. I didn't need you to deal with this that I created. Walk over here. And I'm saying that's unacceptable.
Yeah, he's too slow. He's still dealing. He over
He's
here.
he's here because this just happened. It's been happening from the beginning, and it's still happening. And then you decide within a couple days, okay, boom, I'm here
Actually,
now.
A couple seconds.
No. I'm talking about I'm here now. And so you should be responding like this never happened. That's not reasonable. It's not fair. And that's what's creating the issues and the tension. Period.
It's not reality. And that's some things that, like I said, you have to work on, you have to learn. You know? And that's the difference that I would say. It's like, look, you gotta learn that. But I've always been speaking about choices. You have two paths in front of you. The thing is, your defensive path is the first thing on your mind, and that's why I keep telling you to stop and think. Just
Stop,
think
look, and
about
listen. Daggone it.
just real quick. Oh snap! What really is going on here? Why is it going on? I talk to myself. I'm like, not the way I'm thinking that.
Right.
I talk to myself in conversation.
Right.
You're talking to me, and I'm sitting there talking to myself because I'm talking myself through what you're saying, so that I can understand for myself what you're saying. Once I understand it, like I said, I'm like, okay, I understand it. Now you about to understand me.
Right.
And there's
And
never a
so-
time that you don't understand me.
And so you guys just witnessed, we're going to have to change the title of this confession. You guys just witnessed an unofficial, official family meeting. So we have family meetings, which she wanted to call one, but Keyshawn was supposed to still be at work. Look, this is how crazy this is. Keyshawn is like, I ain't getting nowhere near that conversation right now. Them nigglets is crazy. And sounds like this is something about me. Now, imagine that. Walking into a situation where people who have taken you in as family are sitting there who are the family having a conversation that sounds like there's some tension there somewhere and your name is right in the middle of it. Who would be uncomfortable with that? I'd probably be uncomfortable with that. What y'all don't know is Keyshawn been here about 25, 30 minutes. He is like, the heck I'm coming up on there right now. And I don't blame him. I hope he's in there laughing.
He's taking a shower.
Oh, he's taking a shower. But the point is, you know, even if, no, I think he might be.
No, he's taking a
He's
He's
shower.
doing a shower now. He wasn't before. He's doing it now. Yeah, he's been here for a while. And he's like, these folk are, I don't know what to do.
What, Skylar?
And that's the whole point. I wouldn't know what to do.
What?
No, not right now, especially not while we're talking. Why don't you come up here with us? Why don't you come up here with us and say hi? Okay, say hi then.
Hi.
Skylar wants to say hi right there. All right, we'll get you an icy when we get done. You got to eat your lunch first, though. Okay?
What lunch?
The lunch that you're going to eat when we get done. Love
I ate
you.
for my lunch.
What'd you eat? Oh, you did have lunch. Okay, well, she can have her icy now.
I was just waiting until we were done with the show.
Okay.
Because she can wait.
Yeah, you just have to wait for it. All right, so she did. She's like, I did have my lunch. What you talking about, Mama? I've been eating lunch a half hour ago. All right, so anyway.
Well, I had a solution to this, and it didn't work out. So it's time to try something new. My solution was just to act like he's not there.
See, but that's not fair either.
And it's not a solution, obviously.
It's not a solution, but it creates tension. Because now you act like somebody's invisible. That's almost disrespectful.
Well, if he talks to me, he talks to me.
But
it's
no, come on, she still ain't getting it. That you're creating another thing over here. That's tension.
The only way you can do that is if somebody don't actually live at your house.
Yeah.
How about you
It's
just
difficult.
be Yakira and relax and chill? How about we just do that?
I've been doing that.
And, yeah, but you in the process of you quote unquote thinking that you've been doing that, a lot of that you haven't said much in the house. But again, he can't even open his freaking daggone Facebook.
Yes, he can.
Without, now he can. Now he can. But imagine all that stuff that he's been going through. So as you guys know, Yakira and Keyshawn were dating at one point, and Crazy Mommy here has insisted that not only because of a circumstance he had to come here during that time, I've made sure that he stays here. But there's a reason for that. All right? And his whole life has changed, and it's awesome. I love Keyshawn. Keyshawn is an awesome, he's an awesome guy, isn't he? He really is a pretty cool guy. But it's a challenge, and trust me, I understand the challenge. This was my ex-boyfriend.
Like I said, I get it too.
We get it, but there's no hostility. There was never any hostility on that end. And so the reason Mommy is acting crazy and have become this wall of intolerance is because this one's behavior is not becoming of the child that I have raised.
Sears said shout out to Keyshawn. She spelled his name wrong, first of all.
He got it.
The behavior is creating a challenge for me. And so, of course, that's kind of also still then going to put him right in the middle of something, because I'm telling her, if you don't act right, I'm going to snatch you up and knock you out. And all she sees is, well, wait a minute. I'm responding to him. So this is his fault. I'm like, no, it's your fault, because you're the one who's acting out. And I'm the one having a problem with what you're doing. So you guys see how some little tension has kind of been created. But the only person who has any kind of issue is her. Thus, the tippy-toeing of Keyshawn through the house.
Yeah, because when
trying not to offend Yakira, trying not to breathe on Yakira.
At this point, I'm trying not to offend him either, because if I offend him, I get in trouble.
That's true.
So I'm like, well, I have to tippy toe as well. He's not the only one tippy toeing.
But here's the thing.
But I tippy toe differently.
She don't tippy toe.
You flat as hell.
That's the whole problem.
Tippy toe my ass.
She is resenting. She resents the fact. So her she does not tippy toe.
Trying to say she.
I know. Wait. How y'all say to me? That's not true. That's a lie.
No, if anything, I'm not really tippy toeing against him. I'm tippy toeing around Mom.
So
she still is trying to figure out how to spell
Keisha.
I sent it to her. I sent it to her.
So yeah, as Jonathan said, no, you flat-footed and you smacking them feet all over the place. And poor Keyshawn, who we love, I mean, he won't even come downstairs half the time, y'all.
Yeah, because I got the plague.
Oh, no, you know what was funny? Wait, what is Keyshawn?
It's not that bad, actually, because I'm not going to lie. that is kind of like a nice little pad up
It
there.
is. Oh, it's
when
beautiful
it was by
upstairs.
myself, I'm kind of.
He
like
didn't
in my
hardly come
own
down
zone.
either.
It's,
Hey,
you're just in your
Keyshawn.
own zone. That's why. So I mean,
Keyshawn,
I'm gonna be hear you.
he's trying not to hear me. He got them headphones on. He's like, I don't want to hear it. This is probably extremely uncomfortable for him. That's why I want him to come in so that he can go get him.
Yo, Keyshawn.
It's probably very uncomfortable for him. So I want him to come in so that he doesn't have to try to figure out what the heck
He
is
just
going
went
on.
downstairs.
He went downstairs?
All the way downstairs?
Yeah, I think so. Or
Oh, no,
in the
he's
laundry
in the
room,
laundry.
something like that.
So anyway,
Dude needs to turn his music down if he can't hear.
that's true. But he's trying not to hear.
Huh? He's going.
Come on in. We're doing confessions. Look, he's like, oh, Lord, don't bring me in on it, please, Mama, please.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
That sounded so enthusiastic, didn't it?
Be like, fuck
How's your
this
day
shit, I'm
going,
out.
Keyshawn?
It's going good. I'm supposed to be going to the Easter get together today.
Oh, really? So Keyshawn, with your family or who? Okay, so, huh? So Keyshawn gets to go hang out, and that's actually what we were talking about. What we were supposed to talk about today was why we don't do Easter egg hunts and why I don't go to church and do the traditional church hopping and on Easter. Yeah, because you know what? Easter is not real. It's a pagan holiday, and I need to. This is what we would consider Resurrection Day. Howsoever, I need to acknowledge that all the time. It's just like
blast, y'all.
We're not going to put them on blast. It's just like Christmas. It's just like Thanksgiving. Why am I going to take one day to pretend to be something I'm not? Okay? If I'm not dressing up and popping in and out of services every week, why am I going to do that today? That's hypocritical. I am not a hypocrite. I love God. Jesus Christ, I believe He is Lord and Savior of my life. I believe He died on a cross to pay a wage of my sin, which was death, and He took that penalty and took the penalty for me because I am unable to do that myself. That is good news. I believe that on the third day, that after He died and gave His life, because nobody killed Him, after He gave His life, He took it back. And He stood up, came up, and all redemption and everything else and all power was in His hands. Even the power to redeem my wretched self. I believe that every day. I also believe that I am not perfect in how I operate and walk in the acknowledgement of who He is and what He has done for me and through Him who I have now become. And I challenge myself to walk through that every day. And what I wear has nothing to do with it. And an Easter egg surely don't got, put it this way, a bunny rabbit that lays a freaking egg, which is a freak.
Hey, that's not nice.
It's thank you. If a bunny was laying a chicken's egg, that is some kind of abomination, some kind of what's the word I'm trying to find?
It's a freak of nature.
But what is the word for that I'm trying to find?
What, freak of nature?
Yes, what is the word for freak of nature that I want to use?
Abomination.
Not abomination. It's a different word.
We are
Okay,
talking about something.
I'm in my
different
50th
than this.
chamber, and it's leaving me. My vocabulary is leaving me, but it'll come up in a minute. Anyway, my point is that's what this was supposed to be about today. But at the end of the day, the reason I don't do any of that is because I never do any of that.
Yeah, she don't even do things for Christmas.
I don't do any of that any day.
We haven't had a Christmas tree in how long?
Well, I need a Christmas
Honestly,
tree.
I don't like Christmas.
Right, well, I need a Christmas tree.
I want a Christmas tree.
She
What
wanted a
for?
Christmas
What
tree because she wanted a Christmas tree. Christmas tree.
It made me feel like a kid. Made me feel comfortable.
They
happy.
feel, yeah, because
Like
Norm,
there's actually a Christmas.
because Norm, her godfather, her daddy, would do Christmas with. Norm just does everything big for Yakira, and that's the other reason, by the way, that Yakira had a different mommy than Jonathan had, because Yakira had Norm buffering the situation.
Yeah, I didn't have that.
Jonathan didn't get Norm until he was 5. Until he was 5, turning 6. Yakira got Norm before she was born. So she always had
You're
Norm.
not going to be part of Confessions?
No, he's trying to get ready.
What time are you leaving?
Oh,
should be on his way to get off at 2:30.
Oh, okay. Well, you go on and get dressed.
He's trying to leave.
Thanks for hanging out. By the way, half of this was about you, but nothing bad about you. So make sure you go and watch it. Keyshawn's like, oh, Lord, they're talking about me, Lord. And I'm not there to defend myself. Don't worry, I'm doing a good enough job of that myself. Yeah, I do it every time, Yakira. I absolutely do. And all of those who have watched this stream probably understand why I do it all the time. She's off the chain, y'all. She is, because you are your wonderful, lovely self. But the thing is, when you have made a position or you take a stance in something, she also has some of my stubbornness. So you won't budge too far from it. You don't budge too far. And even though you think you've made a stride, that stride is still harsh as all get out sometimes to the recipient.
The stride is in your head.
Right? Jonathan is saying you ain't even make a stride. See, I didn't even say all that. But we love you,
I'm
Kira.
trying to figure it out.
We do.
No, that's the only reason why I say I go off of what certain things she does in the now. I take present stuff. Like, okay, you just did this now, and I'm going to tell you why that was wrong.
Right.
I won't let it build up. I like it because that's how I was told. I'm going to nip it in the bud right now. We ain't going to go much further than this little conversation right here. You don't nip this in the bud, I'm going to keep having this conversation until you do.
Right.
If it's one of those things where I ain't never seen that before, I'm going to just ask you about it. We're going to have a conversation because I've never seen that before. Next time I see it, though, best believe I'm going to nip it in the bud.
So what do we do to make everything relaxed in the house? Even if I relax, y'all still
I'm
say there's
relaxed as
tension.
hell.
No, we're very relaxed. All you need to do, Yakira.
Sean's not relaxed.
He's
Y'all
relaxed.
just said he's
He
tippy-toeing.
is tippy-toeing. But the thing is, as soon as, like I said, just last week, Yakira, you were blasting him. So you think you have relaxed. Now that you've relaxed for 1 week, supposedly, 1 week, now you need to allow it to settle and allow him to get accustomed to it. Don't expect that he's just going to jump into submission.
I just think it's funny how he responds, because, like, straight up, it's like I have the plague. Nigga doesn't look at me, doesn't talk to me. Like, he'll say, hey to Jonathan, and then just walks up. I'm like,
why?
damn, I got the
I made
plague.
it comfortable.
Hold on. No, what was funny, well, this was, exactly, he made it very comfortable. What was funny, this is what's funny. And this is why she said she got the plague.
Yeah, this is why I said I
The
got the
other
plague.
day, we were all here watching a movie, and I was telling him, come on, watch the movie with us. I usually, well, at that time, I was sitting over here where Yakira is.
And he was
Jonathan,
real reluctant to come over.
Jonathan was right here, and Yakira was laying all the way across this side of the sectional, except for the last little part of the recliner over there somebody can fit, or right here on the little triangle someone can fit. But either of those seats are where? Right in her space, either by her feet, where she can kick you, or by her head, which you're not supposed to look at her. I'm just saying. I'm being a little bit exaggeratory. So poor Keyshawn, he walked in here and did like a little loop, and I'm in the kitchen kind of observing this. I start cracking up because I'm like, Keyshawn, if you don't go sit in that chair, and Yakira's like, well, what's wrong? I got the plague or something. Why won't he sit over here? And I'm like, Yakira, I wouldn't want to sit near your funky behind either. You done told me from day, however many days, and every day since, don't look at me, don't talk to me, don't breathe on me. And that includes don't sit near me. And so poor Keyshawn, he went to go get a bench, the little stool, and sit back there and just kind of, I'm like, no, you will not. Go sit in the seat over there. And so I sat over here with Yakira, and Yakira's just like, I got the plastic. Yeah, you got some daggone cooties, dang on it.
I feel like it would be less. I feel like there'd be less tension if he kind of just.
But he can't. You created the problem, so it has to resolve now. He has to have time to recover all of the daggone assaults.
Well, damn, he'll like a vampire and get the fuck over it.
Yeah,
Because I do that.
It doesn't work that way.
Well, it works for me.
See, that's the problem.
I understand not everybody's like me, but damn. Making me uncomfortable. Freaking
Good.
walking everywhere like a damn shadow. That's creepy.
No, it's not.
Making me feel like a ghost.
See, this is what she does. Y'all hear this? This is unreasonable. That's what we're talking. It's not a joke.
I'm
not
sorry.
a joke 'cause
I'm
it's
sorry.
real.
I'm sorry if I offended somebody.
No, you offended me.
I'm sorry that I offended you.
Because the truth of the matter is, you're still talking about him. Like, that's not nice. You know, even though you're trying to be playful with it, given the circumstances, it's not really cool. He's uncomfortable around you. And
it's one thing, like, think about it. The way me, Charles, and Rob would joke, that's how we joke, but that's because we were already out the gate cool with each other like that.
And it's not going to make any of us uncomfortable with the other.
One person that never did that, especially when she met Rob, was Brittany. There was no way she would joke like we joke, because that would be uncomfortable, because we joke about each other's insecurities. And we play on that. But at the end of the day, that's what the thing is.
Right now.
You know what I'm saying? Me and him are cool enough that we know each other's insecurities. I know hers, but I'm not about to sit there and joke about it because I know how she would take it.
I don't know how you take it because he's not around me to joke with me.
No. He's taking it by staying away from it. That's what he's doing. That's how he's taking it.
And that's exactly what Brittany would do. If I was joking about her, what's she going to do? Get silent? Go to the other room?
I guess I'm just mean and I need to work on my meanness because that's what Sierra's calling me right now. And I'm ratchet, Sierra. Damn it.
Yeah.
Ratchet.
So y'all
mean. It's just you don't realize what is coming out of your mouth, how it affects other people. You don't think of the affection of others.
So where she thinks I'm abrasive toward her, the majority of the tension and we just hashed it all out right here. You guys saw it live on True Confessions.
And
this is what it's been about. No. We're fine. But the thing is, that's us. And we have grown and we've learned and we've lived this way forever. But you still have a new person who we're trying to bring in as family. It's still, in his mind, he's kind of like a guest. And he doesn't want to be an unwelcomed guest.
Think about it. It's the same way with me and the other family.
Exactly.
How do you think I would have felt every single time they're doing their little thing and I'm sitting there like, that's y'all family. I'm in y'all house. What the fuck am I supposed to do? Sit here and just accept that? Well, I guess so, because I want to be in your house.
But you know what? He's very, very engaging when he wants to be. He took everybody out to the movies. He just got a new little job, and he spent some of his first check on his family here. I love Keyshawn. I really do. And that's why I say that one's mine.
And that's why she defends him.
And so I got to, exactly, that's why I defend him like he's one of mine. If Jonathan was doing that against Yakira, I'd be on Jonathan.
No, because I defend myself.
Well, see, there you go again. Now stop, Yakira. Just stop.
Yeah, you wouldn't be.
Just stop. Come on.
Couldn't be.
All right, y'all. I think I just need to get out of this right now.
No, you wouldn't be able to. I would have to defend you against Jonathan eventually.
You wouldn't be able
because you would not be able to manage Jonathan.
Depends on what's going on.
It really if he goes against you, no, but if he charged an assault on you, you are not going to be able to handle Jonathan, and I would have to be the buffer, just like I'm being the buffer in this situation.
We all knew this from when we were kids. There was never a time that you would ever be able to actually take the brunt. You can lash, and you do, and that's why now we can have conversations. But if I really were to attack you like I attack somebody I hate, which I've never done, that's what the problem is. You never actually see me attack you. Because I've never really tried to attack you. I just want you to understand. That's what I'm saying. There's no point, though.
But actually nobody is attacking you.
If I were to attack you,
you think we are. None of us have attacked you. You've not actually seen me attack somebody that I did not like. Exactly. You've seen me have a confrontation with a neighbor who was going after y'all, but you've not seen me, like, really go after somebody and actually have a confrontation. You've not seen it. And that's why I was when I told you, when you got that message, and there was a text message to Yakira, and it was about telling her something that this person had no business telling her, and it was an adult. I was like, Yakira, give me that phone number. And then I was like, don't give me the phone number. Never mind. Don't give it to me. Because if I decide
can I call you back?
to jump out the pocket and
Can I
go
call
after
you back?
this person, not only are they not going to be ready, but somebody's going to have a huge problem, and it's not going to be me at the end of the day. Now, I'll be having a problem while I'm making my process because I'm going to make it a problem. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to be the one with the problem at the end. All right? So I just was like, yeah, that's not a good idea. It's not really even worth that much of my energy and attention because there would be a lot of energy behind it. So I said, yeah, they're not ready for me, and I really don't care about them. So
Sierra said I just come off harsh.
thank you,
You
Selma.
do- But this is the difference.
She's got a big heart.
That's
See,
what I'm
that's the
saying.
thing. You're
We're
so,
different.
there is a dichotomy there
We're different.
that when you are head over heels and you are totally for something, all of this other stuff is the total opposite of that. And so it's very obvious. And see, and that's what you have to understand. He's experienced both sides. He understood how you acted when you were for him. And you were totally trying to be all in love. Trying to be in love. And now you're trying to be something else. And so, of course, you're going to feel that. Even if you don't do anything. That's what you're feeling. That's the evidence that there's something wrong. Or something has changed. Or that there's something different. So that's what we're trying to get you to see. So just be yourself, act like you got family, and relax, chill. It'll resolve. Everything will be fine.
Don't have expectations.
Yeah, just
I learned
chill.
that at 6. Don't have expectations for nothing. You just go with the flow. Certain stuff like that, you can't control somebody else. You have to just go with the flow on that one. If it happened, it happened. Just plain and simple. Go off of their character or what they are. If their character is good at the end of the day, that's what I'm going to go after. And I'm going to treat you like your character is to me. If you coming at me sideways constantly, well then one of these days I'm going to break your fucking neck.
Hey! Y'all done dropped some bombs in here today. It's resurrection.
She acts like I ain't 23.
Ow, my chest.
What? In keeping with the love, we're not going to break people's necks.
Unless
And
you come at a sideways.
And we're surely not going to effing break somebody's neck today.
Oh no, that was very real. She ain't. I break your neck with love. How about that?
Yeah, I break your neck.
I break your neck and then tell you I love you and hope your soul go to heaven. How about that?
Hope your soul go to heaven.
I pray for you. Do something.
I'll pray for you. All right. Well, like I said, you guys just got to witness a real, true, live interaction, live on camera. We didn't even get to talk about a family meeting. We pretty much just had one. And you saw where I go and how I get. You saw where this is constant though, and you even saw a little bit of where Yakira goes, but she wasn't trying to, because she was on blast about being defensive, so she wasn't as defensive just now as she usually. Oh,
no, I'm talking about when it's like in this kind of.
Well, this is a
situation.
reason to be defensive.
It's a
because
family.
now, right? But you also understand that nobody's attacking you, and sometimes you can take the constructive criticism. Sometimes it's hurtful, because you don't want to accept that, dag, I gotta work on this too. Well, what does that mean about me? It doesn't mean anything except for you just gotta work on that. And I think this is the other piece that I wanted to say with Yakira. Part of why she defends herself, and this is what I was telling her this morning, very loudly, I was telling her, is that because you think something about you that's negative, if somebody even starts to sound like they're saying that, you want to reject that vehemently because it makes you feel bad about you. And so because you want to reject that, that's the other reason for the defense, and you start coming out and just rah, 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 rah. Well, I'm this horrible person. No, I didn't say that. That's how you feel. And so stop using that and understand that just because we got to work on something, just because we haven't arrived to perfection yet, does not make a horrible person. Just because Jonathan just said he gonna break somebody's effing neck and he dropped the bomb, it doesn't make Jonathan a terrible person. Jonathan is one of the most loving people, as is Yakira. But I am the queen of love.
I'm still working on it.
I'm the queen.
I'll put it that way. I'm still working on that one.
And it's obvious I'm working on my stuff.
It has to do with a level of self-acceptance. And I think what it is you're still not ready to accept certain things about yourself because you feel that in accepting this is saying and acknowledging, I am a bad person. This thing is bad, but it doesn't make you bad.
Just fix it.
You see what I'm saying? And that's what I try to buck up against Yakira about when I'm constantly yelling at her, telling her to stop freaking defending herself. Because then it makes me really want to fight her so she can understand, okay, now is when you defend yourself. Let me show you when it's appropriate to defend yourself. Let me knock you the F out. You better get up and defend yourself. You know? So when it's no attack, it frustrates me. It drives me nuts that she does what she's doing. And again, I understand it. I love you. I understand why I'm doing what I do. I totally understand why I respond to you the way that I'm responding. But I've decided that I'm not going to try to change it for that. Now, other things, I have changed my response to you. But for this thing, I'm not going to move. I've made a commitment to be right where I am in the position that I'm taking on that. And so, if you keep cycling, it's going to be the same thing. Stop hitting the wall. Go through the gate. Or don't come at all. You know, that's the other thing. The third choice is, you know what? I don't even actually have to reel into this at all because it's actually not that big of a deal. That's growth. The gate is growth. Continuing to bang your head upside of a wall is just freaking painful and annoying. You know?
I had learned, and that's actually what I told you when it came to my boy. When it comes to a lot of those conversations like those, sometimes you're not necessarily always at the level to defend yourself the way you want to defend yourself. Like, in your head, there is this profound thing that you need to say, but it's just not coming to you yet. And that's just because you haven't grown to understand what that profound thing is just yet to actually receive it. So it's like one of those things that, you know, utilize the resources that are given to you. I used all the adults that were given to me. I talked to everybody. I talked to even people sometimes I didn't really necessarily like, but at least I respected. I even talked to them because I'm like, well, you're older than me. You have some wisdom maybe somewhere. So I'm going to try to tap into that. And then I'm going to pull that little piece. And I'm going to come over here. And I'm going to pull this. And I'm going to pull that. And then at the end of the day, with all this resource and all this information that I got, I'm now going to interpret that the way I need to interpret it and follow a path. And when I see the choices, I'm going to try to make the correct choice. Am I perfect? No, we're all human. There is never a time where you might always choose the correct choice. But you're going to always try to choose the best choice for yourself and everybody around you. Especially if it has to do with everybody around you. And that's more or less what I kind of am trying to teach you. Is to follow the choices that make it better for you and everybody else. You know, see them, understand them, and then go the right way.
Or at least choose the path that you feel is the most appropriate for you.
And everybody else.
And everybody else.
Because I don't, like I said, we've had a conversation about choices for like the last 3 months. And it may not necessarily be your choices, but it all circles back. It's all about choices. People did this, and they want to say this, and they want to talk on that and chime in on that. Well, guess what? You ain't the person that made this whole situation that y'all talking about. They made the choice to do this, and this is the outcome. Now y'all want to talk about it. Y'all weren't even in it. Shut up.
Shut up.
It wasn't your choice to make, nor your decision. You probably couldn't even understand what they were going through to make that choice. Shut up.
In love. Shut up. Anyway, all right, so, wow. Here we are, guys. This was week, what, 46? Are we 46 or 47? Jonathan thinks it's 47. I think it might be 46 because we have 45. I think last week was 45. I'll have to look.
Some of these, I don't remember.
We're so close to 52 that it's just a matter of time. We losing count now. But I remember when I got so excited when it was 12 weeks. I was like, oh my gosh, I've done True Confessions for 12 consecutive weeks. And people engage us and experience this with us and are here. And I just want to say, whether it's week 46 or 47, thank you all so much for joining us, for being here with us, for engaging us and sharing. And also thank you for sharing the love. We love you guys. Have a good one. Smooches. Have a great week too, by the way. We're starting some stuff fresh and new, and we'll tell you all about it. Love ya.
This is